find a rose, it still and always will be a rose.
Our apprenticeship program started about 8 years ago, and I started my apprenticeship program purposefully. I wanted to include spirituality alongside herbalism, such as the power of plants in our spiritual work. I decided to create spiritual herbalism, and it's an apprenticeship program. Being a spiritual herbalist to me means that your spirituality is centered around plant medicine. So it's centered around the ancestors, it's centered around land, it's centered around your community, and it's centered around using plants on a daily basis, not just to heal our bodies, but also to heal our spirit. Our apprenticeship program in its entirety lasts for about 2.5 years. There's level 1, which is a foundation program. And the foundation program is really beautiful because this is where you step into herbalism and you gain a solid foundation. So you start to examine, how does the body system interact with plant medicine? How do we identify plant medicine? Why are plants so special to our healing? And then we talk about also the spiritual aspect of why plants work well in the body emotionally and physically. So level 1 and 2 are taken together. Level 1 is a foundation in herbalism where you gain all the knowledge necessary for your step into spiritual herbalism. In level 2, it's more of an initiation into plant medicine. So in level 2, we're focused on how other cultures use plant medicine, and parts of those cultures, like indigenous cultures, have used plant medicine, and what we can learn from each of those cultures in our spiritual journey of using plant medicine. Level 3 is by invitation only, deeper look into your clinical practice, formulary, your community outreach, gardening, teaching, all of those things are comprised in level 3. Sacred Vibes Spiritual Herbalism Program is different than an herbal education program. A spiritual herbalism program actually calls you to task about your own spirituality and your own maturity as a spiritual person and a being. Spiritual herbalism is the use of plants to help you in your journey as an individual. So what that looks like is that your spirituality then becomes anchored in the plant medicine. So plants are used for protection, they're used for building relationships, they're used for healing trauma, they're used for drawing closer to your family, they're used for any changes or transition that's happening in your life. So what happens is that you become closely attuned to the spirit of plants in spiritual herbalism. And you're just not learning about, well, here's this thing happening in my body, how can I use the plant to heal? Instead, your approach is much more like, this is an entity that can help me along my spiritual journey, and I, in turn, can partner with for all the things that feel really important in my life. As a spiritual herbalist, the things that we take into consideration is your development as a spiritual person alongside how plant medicine can interact with that to make you a whole person. So my most favorite thing is teaching my herbal apprenticeship program. I teach almost 4 nights a week, and the reason that I've been committed to this schedule for the past 10 years is that it amazes me to watch the spiritual growth that happens in individuals as they enter into level 1, which is our foundation, and then when they leave in level 3, it's mind-blowing to see it. And I love watching it. Every week when I sit with classes, I feel like I'm in my community. Each time I'm in front of these folks, I feel like I'm also receiving. So I could be in whatever kind of mood throughout the day, and when I show up to teach, things just magically changed. I'm totally engaged. I love being around folks. I love hearing about their day, and I think that part of it also keeps me going in this work. And I'm also healing my spirit, not only watching other people heal their spirit, but I'm also being reminded of the things that I need to do and the ways in which I can show up for myself and my ancestors and my family and my mom and my children. And just be strengthened by community and just be strengthened by the program. I tell people it's like therapy for me. In this spiritual herbalism program at Sacred Vibes, it's so integrated. It becomes your life, right? So plants don't only come up on Thursday nights when it's time for you to go to class. Plants are coming up all week, and it really frames how you approach everything. Being a part of Sacred Vibes Spiritual Herbalism community is part of the reason that many of our apprentices come to to us. In the Sacred Vibes Spiritual Herbalism community is where you'll find like-minded people who are also interested in building a spiritual practice around plants. There's just about everyone in this community. It's a really diverse, beautiful, vital community, and I'm so proud of it. It's probably one of the things that I'm most proud of creating is this opportunity for human beings or folks who are interested in this medicine and interested in the work of like healing their relationship to the ancestors, healing their relationship to themselves and their family, and healing their relationship to traumas, that they could come together and they can really talk about what does it mean to be healed? What does it mean to be joyful? What does it mean to be resilient? These are the interactions within this community that's so important.